It's day 14, viewers, of the ongoing farmers' agitation. And yet again, while there was hope that something might change, we are staring at another deadlock, at least by what has transpired on ground today. There was supposed to be a meeting. That was the understanding till a couple of days ago, that the government and the farmers will meet a day after Bharat Bandh and take the talks forward. But late last night, Home Minister Amit Shah had a meeting with a few farm leaders, which went on for a couple of hours. We were then told that today there will not be any meeting with the government. First, the government will send its 10-point proposal to the farmers. What is it that the government is willing to negotiate on, willing to talk about? And that happened today. Let me take you through those details before we tell you what happened next. Now, as you know, one of the farmers' concerns was that we don't want an option, there is no option to go to civil court in case of a dispute. The government has proposed the option of civil court. They're saying that can be done. There was another concern by the farmers that we want guarantee of MSP. In fact, they have been insisting that you need to come out with a new law on minimum support price. Government has now said that we are willing to give you written assurance that MSP will not go away. Then, of course, there was the issue of the NCR Air Quality Management Ordinance, which is effectively the stubble burning law that was brought in. Government now says that we can look at appropriate solution that can be provided to the farmers for this. Then there was a big demand for withdrawal of all the 3 farm laws. Government says they're ready for talks on all the issues concerning farmers, but no, they're not going to be withdrawing these laws. Concern number 5 was the electricity amendment bill that the farmers want withdrawn. Government has said they will not change that. Concern number 6 was the farmers will fall into trap of private mandis because of the new laws. The government's proposal says that the state governments can register private mandis, fix a cess and other taxes, and thereby address the farmers' concern. Next was that no system of farmers' agreement registration is there. Government's proposal says all written agreements will be signed till there is a system. Farmers' concerns will be addressed. Next one was about big businesses taking over. That was the farmers' concern. We're given to understand the government has said no loans, mortgages against farmers' land will be allowed, thereby protecting their land. So these are some of the pointers that the government responded to on issue by issue that the farmers have been raising, including the concerns about land and, of course, the concerns about the power and possibility of trader fraud, where the government says state governments can be given the power to register these traders and keep a track. But the farmers have said no, these weren't what we were asking for. We are asking you to take these laws back. We never wanted them in the first place. And until and unless that happens, we are going to continue with our agitation. Here's a report that Alok got for us.
The proposal of the government related to farm laws outrightly rejected by the farmers. In fact, now the farmers are saying that they are now going to intensify the protest because the talks which is going on between the farmers and the government is coming out inconclusive. And in fact, yesterday when Home Minister called them, farmers thought that now today the decision will be taken and it will be very fruitful, positive decision. But they found out that government was again insisting them to amend these laws. And in fact, Home Minister Amit Shah also said that they are sending a proposal and after reading out the proposal, analyzing it, then they should decide next course of action. Today, the 10 points of proposal was sent to the farmers and farmers outrightly rejected it. And in fact, now the farmers are going to intensify their protest. Farmers announced that what they are going to do. In fact, on 12th of December, Delhi-Jaipur highway and Delhi-Agra highway, that is now going to be closed by the farmers. They will block them. Already 4 borders have already been shut. In fact, if you see this Singhu border, Singhu border is completely shut from both the sides. And in fact, apart from that, the Tikri border is also completely blocked by the farmers. 2 other borders are heavily affected, that Ghazipur and Noida. So they are trying to, in fact, block the national capitals from all across the sides. not only that, on 14th of December, that overall, that all across the country, they are going to launch the big protest. They are also going to boycott the Jio and Reliance products. They have also decided to boycott the BJP leaders, that is the ruling party leaders, and also appeal the people to come towards the national capital as much as possible and block and gherao the national capital. So this is now they have announced today. So definitely for the enforcement agencies, for the security agencies, it is a big challenge to maintain law and order, because if this all happens, then definitely it will be a huge challenge for the agencies to maintain peace in the city, especially national capital and NCR region.
So that's their plan, and they have already announced a series of protests, nationwide protests, blockades. They're threatening blockades now, and the plan is to intensify the protests. So where do we go from here? What happens next? The government is insistent that they're not going to withdraw the laws. The farmers say, we are not going to talk clause by clause. You need to take these back, and then let's discuss fresh legislation. Is this stalemate going to then continue? Is there no solution in sight now? What happens next is the big question I'm asking this evening. Pushpendra Singh, President for the Kisan Shakti Sangh, joined me this evening. Avik Saha, convener of the Jai Kisan Andolan, which is the farmers' wing of Swaraj Abhiyan, also with us this evening. Rohan Gupta, spokesperson and chairperson for social media department for the Congress Party, joins us. Deshratan Nigam, advocate with the Supreme Court, with us this evening. And Sudhanshu Mittal, senior spokesperson of the BJP, also joining us. But first up, let me actually go across to Mr. Singh. Mr. Pushpendra Singh, शुक्रिया हमसे जुड़ने के लिए, हमसे बात करने के लिए. अब क्या होगा आगे? सरकार तो लॉज को वापस लेने के लिए नहीं मान रही है.
देखिए, सरकार नहीं मान रही तो किसान भी नहीं मान रहे. किसान जो है अपना आंदोलन जारी रखेंगे. सरकार अपनी जिद पे अड़ी हुई है. 5 जून को इन्होंने अध्यादेश ला करके, ऑर्डिनेंस ला करके बिना किसी सुनवाई के इसको पास कर दिया. उसके बाद लगातार किसानों ने इनका विरोध किया. उस विरोध के बावजूद भी इन्होंने फिर इसको बिल बना करके संसद में पास कर दिया. आंदोलन की कॉल 1-1.5 महीने पहले दी गई थी. उसके बावजूद भी इन्होंने पहले ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन क्रिएट करी, दिल्ली आने नहीं दिया किसानों को. जब किसान भारी संख्या में चारों तरफ से दिल्ली को घेरे बैठे हैं, तब इन्होंने दबाव में आकर के बातचीत शुरू की है. और अब ये जो मूल मांगे थी उनको ना मान करके इन्होंने तरह तरह की बातें करनी शुरू की, तरह तरह के ऑफर्स देने शुरू किए. सरकार के ऊपर अब किसानों का भरोसा उठ गया है. इसलिए किसान चाहते तीनों जो कानून है वापस हो और फ्रेश तरीके से बात करी जाए. इसके बाद और एक एमएसपी प्राइवेट सेक्टर में भी लागू किया जाए. ये बिल तत्काल ला करके, ऑर्डिनेंस ला करके इसको लागू किया जाए. अब आगे का रास्ता तो जो है सरकार के हाथ में. अगर नहीं मानती तो ठीक है, और किसान नहीं तो आगे का बाकी जो रोड्स है उनको भी घेर करके दिल्ली को बिल्कुल जाम करने की बात करेंगे. जी
जी, क्योंकि यही है अब बात कि where do we go from here? That's the big point. Avik Saha, the government is saying they're not going to withdraw these laws. Is there no middle path? Is there no middle path to say, okay, in these laws, what is not acceptable to us, let's do away with that. Let's talk about that.
You cannot fit a square peg in a round hole. जो पुष्पेंद्र जी ने सही तरीके से बताया, the government has brought in laws for a certain interest lobby, which we all understand. And the government is projecting that this will benefit the farmers. And it will not. This is also something we all understand. So government at this point of time, if it wants to reach the middle ground, has to understand that there is popular discontent with the bills. As a political animal, the Bharatiya Janata Party must understand that the will of the people are supreme. So you may be in power, you may be running the central government, but if you go against the will of people, as is apparent everywhere, you are actually not showing good political acumen. So middle ground is to say, "Theek hai bhai, I say that these laws are for your benefit. I maintain my position. You don't agree with me. Chalo, we will keep these laws aside and we'll talk afresh." And I just want to add one thing, Tanvi. Has the government been listening to the farmers? Sarkar ki baat nahi suni ja rahi hai. This I can hear the narrative from today evening. In 2018, AIKCC created a law. I'm not saying it is a law which is perfect or all farmers organizations agree. But that law reached Lok Sabha, that law reached Rajya Sabha. Nothing was done about it. It was not even looked at. We went and met the president. We gave him the laws and said, call a special session of parliament. So many farmers are committing suicide. There's a crisis in the farming sector, and the government did not listen. And lastly, when the government itself, in its CSCP report of Kharif 2019, has said that there should be, MSP should be legalized, there should be a legislation, that report is in the public domain. So how many voices is this government going to speak in? And if they are going to speak in so many voices, will people actually believe them? That's the question.
What are these various voices? Iqbal Singh, of the BJP, joining us right now. Mr. Lalpura, you've heard the two farmer representatives here. There's clearly no trust, no faith in the government's efforts.
The draft of these bills were with the Niti Aayog, and they consulted most of the farmers associations, including Mr. Rakesh Tikait and other people. Then it was discussed by the chief ministers, the secretaries of the states, and then it was brought as notification and later as an act. The sole purpose of this is to implement Swaminathan report and double the income of the farmer. There were certain apprehensions raised. First, the politician who could not get it in the parliament or the Rajya Sabha did it outside the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So ultimately, the farmers took their subject which they were propagating, and there were two demands only. One, that Mandi should continue. Other, that MSP should be guaranteed. Later on, certain other objections were raised that there should be a court, civil court should also be allowed, and this this staple warning should also be not legally imposed, and electricity bill, certain things. There were 6 rounds of talk, including that with Mr. Amit Shah, our Honorable Home Minister. 20-page draft proposal is sent to the farmers, listing all the things. If anything still remains, we are open to talk. We have gone 2 steps forward.
No, but you know, so Mr. Lalpura, I have 2 questions for you. Basis what the other side is saying and what you are saying. Firstly, BJP keeps repeating that we consulted various farmer groups. Now, I am yet to find a farmer group who comes out and says, yes, we had talks with the government and what we asked for is there in these laws. Now, you can have all the consultations you want, but if you don't include their side into the law, it's a problem. Now, can you give us details of what is it that was raised by the farmers then that has actually been included here?
The only concern was we increased 41% rate of wheat, 43% paddies during the last 6 years. We want to implement the Swaminathan report. That is to double the income of the farmers. This was our aim, and for this we consulted the farmers, governments, and their representatives. So this is very simple. Now there are certain fear and rumors which needs to be addressed. So we have come out with a detailed information in writing that we are going to do this to help the farmers to really understand it. Now, there was never
No, you're not answering my questions, Mr. Lalpura. You've not understood. Your first defense always is that we consulted the farmers. Now, I am asking you because I can ask all representatives here. Consultation can mean we sat and spoke. We said 4 things, they said 4 things, but we came out with 8 different other things, completely new things. That consultation is of no use to us. Now, that's the point, Avik Saha, that I'm trying to understand. Were these clauses that finally became part of the bills discussed in these rounds with over 90 different farmer entities that happened?
Tanvi, Lalpura ji's party did not consult its cabinet ministers, did not consult its oldest political ally, did not consult the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh, the farmers' wing of the RSS. They came out with a public statement saying that what is this unholy rush in passing this ordinance and these laws? Let us talk. So all of a sudden, if you say I consulted chief ministers and those consultations are all old and are not on public record and nobody cares. We don't care. I think Mr. Lalpura is talking about the consultations held with Mr. Kamal Nath. So farmers' organizations are not concerned with
No.
that. They did not consult
No,
their
I'm
own
talking
farmers'
about
organizations.
Mr.
They did
Amrinder
not
Singh.
consult anybody else. जी बीच में मत बोलिए आप जब बोल रहे थे मैं बीच में नहीं कह रहा था. Most important thing is what the farmers want is on record with the government. I repeat again and again, those laws were in parliament. It is not a public statement or a press release. Have you looked at those laws? And this government, when it comes to MSP, has a specialized agency called CACP. Please look at CACP's recommendation of July 2019. It says we must create a law for MSP because there is widespread fear among farmers. When CACP says this, you say Niti Aayog did not say that. And he spoke about doubling of farmers' income. It's a 5-volume report. Nowhere in this report is there a reference of these laws. Nowhere is in the BJP manifesto of Lok Sabha 2019 is a reference of these laws. In fact, there is a reference of all these reforms in the Congress manifesto. So overall, when I say various voices, way back in 2018, this government, Mr. Modi's government, created a model APMC Act. Everybody agrees, Tanvi, that there are lots of mistakes in the current APMC Act in its implementation. It needs correction.
Yes.
This government has tried to correct it. It has sent it to Gujarat and Gujarat has not accepted it. So please understand that APMC's existence is not in threat. What Mr. Modi is doing with these 3 laws is to make it defunct. APMC, the physical infrastructure will always remain. But nobody will go to that APMC because these private, unrecorded, completely free and underground markets will start existing.
Okay.
This is what the farmers fear.
Okay, now I want to go across to Rohan Gupta before I go back to Pushpendra Singh and then Desh Ratan Nigam. But Rohan Gupta, again, the same point. The opposition parties today are saying, well, there was an in-depth discussion. We were not consulted, but the BJP keeps repeating that all states were consulted. All stakeholders were brought into, confidence, and they knew what was happening, including the Punjab Chief Minister.
If you see the way this government has brought 3 bills, basically there is a trust deficit. Even when it was introduced in the parliament, there was no discussion. The whole country was facing corona and lockdown, and this government introduced the bill. And you know the ruckus what happened in Rajya Sabha, the way the bills were passed. At the end of the day, why this is happening is because there is a trust deficit. This government has a habit of imposing something on people which is not required by the people. Whether it is note ban or GST, they have typical habit of imposing something on people. This doesn't work this way in India. There has to be a consultative process, and the basic foundation of this bill that there is no MSP guaranteed. I think unless and until there is heart in the body, it is obviously not going to be acceptable by farmers. So whatever discussions they do, and this discussion is also happening after farmer agitations, after farmers sat on highways for 15 days. These discussions, they never came onto table before the bills were introduced. So this government doesn't believe in consultation process. They feel that they can crush the voice of the India. I think that's not going to happen. We are with the farmers, and at the end of the day, their concerns that MSP has to be there. And why, if the government's intention is not bad, the simple thing why they are saying that MSP is not legalized, why they are not saying that if anybody is found buying below MSP, it will be a crime. They will not do that because the purpose of this bill is to benefit certain class of people which are not farmers, and
Okay,
obviously
but-
the farmers have right to oppose that.
So let me pick up the MSP part. Mr. Pushpendra Singh, the government has now at least said today in their proposal that they are willing to give a written assurance on MSP, that MSP will not go away. Isn't that a positive response from the government, that they are giving the written assurance that was sought for by the farmers? We're also trying to allay your fears about farmers losing their land, and that will be ensured. Why is that not convincing the farmers?
तो देखिए, दो अलग अलग व्यवस्थाएं हैं। एक व्यवस्था पहले वाली व्यवस्था है, एमएसपी और मंडी की व्यवस्था है। वहां एमएसपी मिलने का वायदा तो है,
हाँ।
लेकिन वहां पर भी धान और गेहूं के अलावा बाकी फसलों में एमएसपी नहीं मिलती है। पर चलिए, कागजों में तो वो वादा है, लेकिन हमारी मांग दूसरी व्यवस्था के लिए, जो नई व्यवस्था आप प्राइवेट सेक्टर के लिए कह रहे हैं, उसमें हम कह रहे हैं कि भाई उसमें भी आप एमएसपी की व्यवस्था जो है मैंडेटरी बना दीजिए। तो अभी लालपुरा जी से जब आप पूछेंगी तो ये कहेंगे एमएसपी चालू रहेगी, यानी कि पुरानी व्यवस्था में चालू रहेगी। नई व्यवस्था का जवाब ये यदि दे दें, तो मैं 10 कार्यक्रमों इनके साथ रहा हूं, इन्होंने कभी नहीं कहा एमएसपी चालू रहेगी, पुरानी में चालू रहेगी। आपकी ये बात मान ली, समझ गए, धन्यवाद दे दिया, जैसी चालू है चालू रहेगी। लेकिन नई व्यवस्था के अंदर रहेगी या नहीं रहेगी, आप इसको क्यों स्पष्ट नहीं करते?
नई व्यवस्था के अंदर रहेगी मतलब आप कह रहे हैं कि मंडियों के बाहर भी वही एमएसपी मिलेगा कि नहीं?
जी जी, जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर है उसके ऊपर आप एमएसपी क्यों बाध्यकारी नहीं करते, जैसे कि मंडी के अंदर होती है? हम ये क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं तो आप ये डबलिंग इनकम कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे, ये कर देंगे, ये कर दिया। आप केवल एक मुद्दे पर, जो 80 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है, वो यही था जिसकी वजह से वार्ता टूट रही है बार बार। बाकी चीजें जो है एक्सेप्टेबल थी सरकार को भी और किसानों को भी, लेकिन इस पर कोई जवाब देने के लिए रिटर्न में और मैंडेटरी बनाने के लिए सरकार तैयार नहीं है।
ये आपने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात करी और ये बहुत अहम है सबको समझने के लिए। व्यूअर्स आल्सो नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वेयर इज इट दैट द टॉक्स आर गेटिंग स्टक। द टॉक्स आर गेटिंग स्टक और हिटिंग अ डेड एंड, कि जहाँ पे ये बात आती है कि प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स आएंगे, प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स विल नॉट गिव ए गुड प्राइस. There is a fear they may not give a good price to the farmers. They will buy outside the mandis and the farmers will have no choice. Who protects them then? उनको वहाँ पे लालपुरा जी इनकम का या प्राइस का अश्योरेंस नहीं दे सकती सरकार?
अगर आप केवल मंडी की बात करते हो तो आज की जो प्रपोजल गई है उसमें ये लिखा गया है कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आउटसाइड मंडी क्रिएट कर सकती है, उस पे टैक्स ले सकती है और उसको रेगुलेट कर सकती है। ये बात उसमें लिखी गई है।
एमएसपी की बात कर रहे हैं लालपुरा जी, गलत डायरेक्शन जा रहे हो। प्राइवेट में एमएसपी लागू होगी, इसका जवाब दे दीजिए केवल आप।
अगर यही पॉइंट है तो मैंने इस बात पे भी डिस्कशन हो सकती है। अगर इस पे ये तो नहीं कह सकते आउटराइटली आप 2 बातें लेके आए हो, 10 बातें हमारी मान ली, 11वीं बात हमारी अभी रहनी है, तो आप कह दें कि हम तो इसको रिजेक्ट करते हैं जी। आपको टोटली पहले इसको रिजेक्ट करके आओ लॉ को, और अपने प्लेबिसाइट क्यों नहीं करवाया? नहीं, मेरी बात सुनो, ये बात हो सकती है। मैं ये नहीं कहता कि हम बातचीत से भाग रहे हैं। हमने तो जो कहा हमने वो बातें
आप कह रहे हो कि बैंड बाजा बारात दावत और डिनर लंच बहुत अच्छा, लेकिन दुल्हन नहीं दूंगा। ये दुल्हन ही ये है, तो इस दुल्हन के बिना शादी नहीं हो सकती। आप दुल्हन नहीं देना चाह रहे, बाकी सब आप देना चाह रहे हो, तो शादी नहीं होगी। एमएसपी प्राइवेट व्यवस्था में लागू करिए, यही मेन मुद्दा है किसानों का।
अगर ये मुद्दा है तो आप बातचीत के लिए आइए। आप इसको ये मत कहिए कि हम रिजेक्ट करते हैं आउटराइटली।
आप रिटर्न में करिए ना इसको।
हमने तो नहीं कहा, हमने तो प्रपोजल भेजी है, आप आइए। आपका हमें तो कॉन्फिडेंस है, हम 2 कदम आगे आए हैं। जो भी बातें और भी रहेगी, ये किसानों की कोई आखिरी मांग नहीं है। और इसके बाद किसान जब 64 से अभी तक एमएसपी का रूल नहीं बना, आपने कहा तो हमने रूल बनाने के लिए मान गए। आपने जो सिविल आपने कहा एसडीएम पे हमें भरोसा नहीं है, एसडीएम भी सरकारी मुलाजिम है और सारी स्टेटों में है। हमने कहा सिविल कोर्ट में आ जाओ। अब आप एक बात पे है तो उस बात पे आप बातचीत के लिए आइए ना, आप बातचीत के लिए आइए।
Okay, let Pushpendra Singh respond to that. Yes.
देखिए, हमने बहुत स्पष्ट कर दिया था कि आप एमएसपी की व्यवस्था को प्राइवेट सेक्टर में लागू करो, यही मोटा क्वेश्चन है। इससे आप बच रहे हैं क्योंकि एमएसपी से नीचे कंसिस्टेंटली प्राइवेट सेक्टर खरीदता रहा है। और मैंने जो कैलकुलेशन की है उसके अनुसार बहुत ज्यादा बोझ भी नहीं पड़ेगा प्राइवेट सेक्टर के ऊपर। 50,000 करोड़ से 1 लाख करोड़ रुपया जो एमएसपी से नीचे खरीद के एक्सप्लॉइटेशन कर रहा है प्राइवेट सेक्टर, वो खत्म हो जाएगा कम से कम, या उसकी एश्योरेंस तो मिलेगी हमें। तो वो चीज जो है, किसानों की आमदनी 6,500 रुपए के आसपास है नाबार्ड की रिपोर्ट के अनुसार। लालपुरा जी, कुछ रहम करिए इन किसानों के ऊपर, इनको भी अपने बच्चे पालने हैं। आप प्राइवेट सेक्टर को क्यों बचाना चाहते हैं एमएसपी की व्यवस्था से? 2-3 उदाहरण दे देता हूं। आप अपनी स्टाम्प ड्यूटी को बचाने के लिए सेक्टर रेट घोषित करते हैं, इससे नीचे खरीद बेचना हो। आप मजदूर की सुरक्षा के लिए मिनिमम वेजेस एक्ट लाते हैं। चीनी मिलों ने जब आपसे कहा कि भाई हमारी चीनी के रेट बहुत गिर गए, आपने एक्स मिल गेट प्राइस 31 रुपीज का लागू कर दिया। तो ये सारी रेगुलेशन सरकार जब करती रहती है तो एमएसपी की व्यवस्था, मिनिमम फ्लोर प्राइस जो की है उससे नीचे नहीं मिलना चाहिए, नुकसान होता है किसान को। प्राइवेट सेक्टर पे लगा दीजिए, उससे ऊपर खरीदेगा तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। केवल इस मुद्दे पे आप बिल्कुल चर्चा नहीं करेंगे। हाँ, हम करने को तैयार हैं, आप अब कह दीजिए।
मैं बोलिए।
ठीक है, आई नो व्हाट मिस्टर लालपुरा विल से कि आप आइए, हम बातचीत करते हैं। बातचीत करने का ऑप्शन तो खत्म नहीं हुआ, दरवाजे तो अभी बंद नहीं हुए, बट वी हैव टू वेट एंड वॉच व्हेन द गवर्नमेंट एक्चुअली ऑफिशियली रीचेस आउट टू द फार्मर्स एंड सेज ओके, लेट्स कंटिन्यू आवर टॉक्स. I know Avik sir, you want to make a point, but allow me to go to Deshratan Nigam first. He's not spoken on the conversation yet. Mr. Nigam, it seems that the three laws aside, where there is some sort of agreement on what changes can be made and the government is willing to do so, it all boils down to protection from private entities and a promise for a minimum support price.
You know, the existing, Tanvi, the existing system which was there prior to these laws had come was the producers were, I'll give you an example of a potato, where they were getting 3 rupees per kg and it was being sold about 30 to 60 rupees in the market outside to the real consumers, the actual consumers. So the lower prices for the farmers and the higher prices for consumers. This we know from our private experiences and personal experiences. And that was the regime, and where the APMC had the absolute control over the system. Now, this is a system which is making a combination of the two, both the private players and APMC. Now, if you give, let me tell you, this is my personal opinion, if you give MSP for private players, no private players is going to buy more than MSP, let me tell you. Say, either you go to this mandi or that mandi, there is no incentive for farmers, and the existing APMC would remain the way they are, and the exploitative terms and conditions would continue. And the regime, now if the farmers think that they are so popular, their demands are so popular, why can't they move a proposal in a parliament? That's my greatest problem. You know, if such a popular support they have, and these real farmers, then they must, and I'm sure these MPs also represent farmers. Please let us not presume the member of parliaments don't represent farmers of this country. So anything that goes through parliament is farmers are also represented. So let us not create this kind of a narrative that farmers have not been consulted. So parliament is the forum. Why can't you move if you have so much support in the system, then I am sure this law will be repealed in the parliament. Let me assure you, if such kind of a popular support has been claimed, but nobody is doing so. Blocking roads against a Supreme Court judgment is something which is illegal. Supreme Court has made it very clear in Shaheen Bagh's judgment, you can't do that. That's contempt of court, and apart from that, other provisions also come in. Now, whatever concerns were there have been addressed, and they are being, another concerns are being added one by one. So the purpose is not to solve the problem, but to create a chaos and a problem for the government. So that is the actual story.
Mr. Deshratan Nigam, I hear this often. I understand the argument when it's made to say, oh, look, not even the entire country is protesting, farmers of only a few states. But please help me understand, why would thousands of these farmers, even if they are from 5 states, spend days and weeks together, give up on their work, whatever little they may be able to earn, leave their families behind, come and sit here, brace and face the Delhi winters for weeks together? ये एक दिन का धरना तो अब रहा नहीं. Who will do it? Who will be so politically motivated to be doing this?
See, let me tell you, the entire lobby of the commission agents and very, very big farmers are involved here. And the 95% small and marginal farmers are not there on the roads. They are the ones who are benefited. And believe me, if they come in support of these farm bills, this particular lobby will have a lot of problems. Let me tell you, they are very clearly watching. And I'll give you an example here. What is being opposed in electricity bill that it should be scrapped, it should be taken back, is the direct benefit transfers of subsidy to the farmers. And these farmers are also opposing that. They're saying we should not do that. And the situation of the distribution companies, state distribution companies, is so pathetic that these things have to be done. The real beneficiaries are the farmers. So nobody wants to actually look into the problem. And this facade which is being created out here is that farmers are suffering. Small and marginal farmers are getting direct benefit transfers in their accounts. Subsidies will be getting into their accounts. But people don't want, because established status quo would change.
All right. So I will take that point and take it to Avik Saha, and then Rohan, I'm coming to you. But Avik Saha, to the charge that these laws will benefit big companies, the response is actually the ones protesting are the big farmers and their commission agents, and not the small and marginal ones. Your response to that?
Ignorance is a curable disease. Those who hold this view, I request them to look for the cure, which is the fact. If lakhs of farmers all over the country who are protesting were big, rich farmers and adatiyas, then those who are saying so do not know this country. The farmers who are protesting at Delhi are not the only farmers protesting. Very small marginal farmers in West Bengal are protesting also. They can understand that these laws are aimed to create an environment where production, trade, supply and retail of food will be monopolized. It's very clear. And this is not political, this is not a Congress versus BJP narrative. Both parties believe in this same axiom. And so far as legality and illegality is concerned, I'm sorry my brother lawyer feels this way. But when the roads in Haryana were dug up, I did not hear about the violation of law. I did not hear about violation of law when peaceful travel through Haryana was resisted with tear gas and water cannons. So law cannot be applied selectively like this. And the Supreme Court will not hold the farmers in contempt, because the Supreme Court is conscious that they are fighting for their future, their life and their livelihood. The Supreme Court is the protector of the Constitution and the rights, fundamental rights of the people of this country. So yes, everybody is entitled to have a view and an opinion in a democracy, but these are completely flawed, these are prejudiced, and this is a banquet hall view of life. That those who are suffering are actually, yes, you will get a chance, I'm sure you will. Those who are suffering because either of their fate or because they have some motive which is not clear and oblique. And those who are in power are all correct. When the Congress had majority in parliament and was running the government, UPA 2, they created laws too. We understand the system of representational democracy, but we also understand that in this country there are processes like referendum. And that referendum, when the time comes, will happen. And I'm positive that there will be popular support against these laws. So yes, we will test it on the anvil of democracy. We will test it on the litmus of the Constitution. And I'm positive that these will prove in favor of the farmers and not those who are resisting, that they have a right. You can call them anything. They've been called Pakistani, Khalistani.
Yeah, but Mr. Saha, constitutionally speaking, it's up to the opposition parties or somebody to take it to the Supreme Court. They haven't done so. It's been over 3 months since the laws were passed in the parliament. If they had a problem with the way the laws were bulldozed.
Supreme Court is at flush with decisions of this subject. The Supreme Court has neglected to take it up. And the central government has no business making laws on the state list. All those can be discussed in a legal debate.
Correct.
Today, the farmers are on the street and they are genuine farmers. They are not put up by political parties, and those who say so are anti-Indians.
Okay, Mr. Deshratan Nigam, yes.
So let us be very clear. When somebody talks of cure and parade them as a fact, that's not a fact, that's an opinion. So one has to be very clear. And to talk about laws, the state central government does have powers under entry 33 of the concurrent list to pass laws under the interstate and intra-state trade and also on contract farming. So legality, like I'm sure it's clear. And Supreme Court, and you blame everybody. You blame Parliament if it passes law. Supreme Court is not doing everything. So that kind of a very pessimistic approach does not work. And let me also tell you, if they were so keen and sincere and about everything, then they should, ask the Maharashtra government to, abolish that amendment they brought into their Mandi Act by allowing direct selling of fruit and vegetables, and they created 6 private mandis and where no MSP is there. Kerala, they should also agitate to bring APMC Act where it is not implemented. That they would not do. Communists are part of this process today to the president and submitting memorandum where Kerala does not even have an APMC Act. So all those things clearly bring out the double standards. And I wish they had a very uniform and clear standard. The only purpose today is, especially after the government's response about the proposal they have submitted, the hypocrisy is certainly very clear and crystal in the minds of people.
Well, I would, think twice, Mr. Nigam, before calling the protesters on ground who've been there for days together, who have absolutely no connection to political parties, before calling them hypocritical.
Who says? Who says?
Mr.
Who says?
Does not know his MSP.
Just-
Fruits and vegetables are not covered by MSP.
Just
So,
lift the curtain. Just lift the veil. You will see the real faces. Just lift the veil.
Or that is your view, just like you thought every single person who was protesting against CA or NRC had a political motive or was stupid enough to be misled by others. Okay, granted, we will find out. Like you said, we will find out at some point of time if that is the case. Let me say good evening to VM Singh, also joining us right now, National Convener of All India Kisan Sangharsh Coordination Committee. But Mr. Singh, before I come to you, Rohan Gupta wanted to make a point. Let him respond first, please. Yeah.
Yeah, Tanvi, very small point. We are discussing, I think Mr. Deshratna Nigam was saying why it is not there in Maharashtra. Let farmers decide, right? It is about farmers. These 3 laws are introduced by BJP. They were not discussed the way they should have been in parliament. Now, farmers are opposing that. And Mr. Nigam saying that only 5% people are affected. Come on, Mr. Nigam, if that is the case, then BJP would have never come on discussion table. The BJP is under pressure because BJP is willing now that they have introduced something without considering the real issues. And the basic foundation is that these 3 laws are not for the benefits of farmers. This is the first time that beneficiaries don't want something and BJP is forcing them. This doesn't work this way in this country. If you want to give me something, at least you have to ask me whether this is comfortable to me, whether it is suitable to me. The basic foundation that the way they are removing MSP, they are not talking about MSP itself shows at the end of the day what will happen. We have seen where there is no APMC laws, the states, what is the situation of farmers? And obviously the farmers, they don't want themselves to be in that situation, which is there in the states. So obviously they have right to agitate against this. And the way BJP has reacted by saying them anti-nationals, this is pathetic. You cannot trust the voice of Annadatta in this country. You have to hear them. Whatever 3 laws, and that's why they are saying, say yes or no. There is no third option. We don't want this. If you want something, if you want us to benefit us, you want us to get benefited out of it, please come on table, please discuss it from the fresh and come out with something which is a win-win situation. So this doesn't work this way in this country, Mr.
Rohan, that's a U-turn Congress is taking. Please remember what you said in Parliament and the U-turn which you are taking now.
Mr. Nigam, if you remember in Rajya Sabha what happened, we wanted discussions, we opposed it, and the way your government passed the bills in undemocratic way, the whole country has seen. We were on dharna outside Parliament for 24 hours. What are you talking about? So I think at the end of the day, this is the government. It's not about Congress. It is not about BJP. It is about the farmers of this country. And the way you have dealt with farmers are not going to forgive you.
Okay, what did P. Chidambaram say in the Parliament?
What was Mr. Rahul Gandhi doing in Punjab?
Yeah, absolutely.
From
Again, Tanvi, I'll come to
October.
that. There is absolutely nothing wrong in making changes in favor. We have always said that APMC.
I think that's a very blanket way of saying. I take your point. It's a very blanket way of saying we want to bring in reforms. They're also bringing reforms, so we should be on the same side. It's the changes that you bring in, the minutiae of the law and the reforms that are being talked about, where the difference lies. So let's not talk in generic terms on either of the two sides. Now, earlier on the show, Mr. Avik Saha raised the issue of the open procurement policy, and I want to pick up on that. And Mr. VM Singh, if you can explain it to our viewers, and perhaps this policy and the way it impacts Punjab and Haryana is an issue why more farmers from these two states are protesting. Can you tell us what is the policy there? What are the changes that the government is suggesting, and why it may impact farmers more who are into wheat or paddy production?
Firstly, I'd like to tell Mr. Nigam one thing. I was hearing when I came in before you introduced me also. He has said that these people, they have come in here sponsored by this one, that one, whatever he said, he knows what he said. I want to tell him, at one point in time, I said UP and Uttarakhand will not come in here because there's no place here. We don't have tents here. We never got in land here. We never got in space here. Now, after Punjab, Haryana, and when they started saying only Punjab, Haryana are protesting, then we asked, AIKCC asked everyone to protest all around, and they were protesting for the last 5 months. We started this protest on 9th of August in a very big way. Quit India movement kicked in. Now, I want to tell him, at Ghazipur today, there is a small dharna, it's below the flyover by somebody else for the last 10 days. And when the farmers from Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh have come, for the last 5 days, 6 days, they are sleeping on the flyover in open air. There is no shelter, and there's dew in the morning. Everything is there. These people haven't come here to fall ill or to die. They have come here because they are desperate today. There are 10,000 people. Your cameraman can go and see right now also there. They're desperate. So desperate people ka mazak mat udaiye aap. Number one. And number two, back to what you said, about the procurement. Punjab and Haryana today, for the last almost 40 years, they are selling the wheat and paddy on MSP. And now they feel that if paddy and wheat is not procured on MSP, they'll be ruined because they are getting 1,868 rupees. But now back to the bills in the same breath. The 3 bills that have come in, they have come in on 5th of June, 2020. That means it's going to change the world for the farmers. Next month, we had the wheat, we had the maize crop all over the country, which was selling for 700 to 800 rupees as against the MSP of 1760. All over the country. Now, after that, in September, October, we had paddy. Instead of 1868 that's being sold in Punjab and Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and all over the country is being sold for 1,100 and 1,200 rupees. That means these bills, if they came in to protect the farmers, they could not protect the farmers because these bills are not in the interest of the farmers. This is what today the farmers all over the country are only saying one thing, that we need a guarantee of MSP. And AIKSCC went all over the town. We covered about 10,000 kilometers in the country. We went to Assam, we went to Manipur, we went everywhere around where we had to go by air, where we had to go by trains. And we covered everything and had a private member bill in the parliament through 2 of our colleagues, Raju Shetty in the Lok Sabha and KK Ragesh in the Rajya Sabha, which said there'll be a guarantee of MSP. And lastly, I'd like to tell you, now people have started saying since morning that this MSP guarantee thing is a fresh thing. No, it's not a fresh thing. On 30th of September, a delegation of AIKSCC had an informal meeting with the defense minister and the agriculture minister for 2 hours, and we gave everything in writing or sent on the mail, which said repeal these 3 laws. They are bad in law. Create a law which is going to have a guarantee for MSP that the farmers will get this price, and nothing less than that in the market can be sold. So this is something that we've been talking for a long time. Today, if the government has woken up or not woken up, it's up to the government. They're the government of the day. We can't fight with them, but certainly we can plead our case. Can't we even do that?
Tanvi, give me 10 seconds.
Yes.
See, let me tell you, I told you big farmers are involved. Mr. VM Singh contested elections where he declared his assets and income above 600 crores.
How does that matter? How does that matter?
So, let me tell you, they are the ones who are leading.
Mr. VM Singh, do you want to respond to that? The point that Desh Ratan Nigam was making earlier, that the small and the marginal farmers are actually not the ones who are protesting because they are going to benefit. It's the larger ones who fear that they are going to be impacted badly who are actually protesting right now.
Is that question to me?
Yes.
Please go to Ghazipur and see. Tell me any rich farmer who is going to spend the night there in the open in this weather condition on the flyover. Tell me one farmer will go there and tell your panelists, come with me. Come with me.
We're actually showing the shots we're getting right now from Ghazipur and the protest that is happening right there.
Please do. Please do.
I live near that place, Mr. Singh, and I know what is going on.
You live on a roof. You have a roof on your head. They don't have a roof on their head. That's the difference right now.
Okay. All right. If I may come back to some of the other points that have been made, and I will go back to Mr. Lalpura. On the end of the day, Mr. Lalpura, if it is the MSP where the concern lies, if it is the price that the farmer is concerned about outside the mandi, then isn't that something that the government will look into? Why is it after 6 rounds of talks, including a conversation with the Home Minister, with Mr. Amit Shah, we are still staring at this situation?
Every time there is a new demand. And whatever 8 demands they have raised, we have tried to fill 10. And if still there is anything, it can be discussed, but not my way or the highway. That is not the right way to do it. But my friend has rightly said, these politicians, the rich people who had been contesting election or are there with the farmers, they were the politicians. What Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal or Harsimrat Badal or Prem Singh Chandubaila was doing on the 6 Takhts, he was trying to involve the religion into politics and farmers also. Same thing, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Captain Amrinder Singh was moving on tractors to mobilizing farmers. Yesterday also, there were all parties, political parties. Only I think there were 10% farmers, 90% politicians who were urging this Bandh and everything. So God prevails.
No, but there is no point, Mr. Lalpura, in trying to discredit the farmers who are sitting there at the borders of Delhi and Haryana and Punjab. If you actually thought that there were only a handful of farmers, Mr. Lalpura, who had an issue or who mattered or who genuinely need to be addressed, you won't be having these meetings. The fact that the government is holding these meetings obviously shows that there is merit to what is happening, obviously shows that there is some amount of genuine concern, genuine farmers out there protesting and demanding that they be heard. The government takes them seriously. Now, why are you sitting on my show and then trying to discredit them?
No, I am also a farmer. I am a middle class farmer. And we are facing all the problems which other farmers are facing. But during the last 60 years, nobody has tried to help them. I think now Mr. Narendra Modi ji has given 6,000 per farmer to the 14 crore farmers. And he is ready to do everything. We are ready to sort out all the farming problems and we will double their income. We don't do anything with just for publicity. We do it for the farmers and do it for all ordinary, not farmers, but the farming labor also. We take everything into consideration. These are good laws. Of course, if there is any apprehension or fear, that has to be removed, and we have done it to remove that fear also. And we are still ready to talk. What else anyone wants? We are ready to talk. And if anything is left, that can also be discussed.
Mr. VM Singh, of the many issues raised by the farmers, on 10 of those points, the government has come back. The government has given it in written. They're willing to give an assurance on the MSP as well, on the existing structure. Then why is it the farmers are still insistent that no, repeal it all? Is there no way forward for conversation then?
There can be a way forward, but let me just clarify 2 doubts that was created right now. Firstly, they said, okay, whatever my assets were about 600 crores, and why can't somebody tell you that from the Supreme Court and High Court, I've got 60,000 crores for the farmers by arguing myself out there against all these legal luminaries there? Why can't they even say that? And secondly, a gentleman just said right now that the government has given 6,000 rupees to the farmers, 14 crore farmers. I had a minister on channel yesterday who said we've given 90,000 crores to 14 crore, 90,000 crores to 14 crore people at 6,000 rupees a person. That makes it for 1 year. It's been 2 years since your scheme came in. In 2 years, you'd be given 1,85,000 crores. But I'm not going to tell on that because the point is the 6,000 rupees that you're giving also, you're robbing me, a sugarcane farmer of 5 acres, 3 lakh rupees. Our 1.5 time comes to 450 rupees. And today you're giving us 300 rupees, 150 rupees per quintal. If there are 400 quintals in 1 acre, it comes to 60,000 rupees robbing per acre. In 5 acres, 3 lakh rupees. And you're giving me 6,000 rupees and saying, thank you so much. Forget all this. Give us the MSP. Guarantee the MSP. In paddy, a farmer is going to gain in 1 acre 12 to 15,000 rupees. In wheat, he's going to gain about 10,000. Overall, he's going to gain 25,000 rupees in 1 acre. He does not want a 6,000 rupees, please. So this is where, now this is what I want to tell you as such. This is something which is very, very silly. And when it comes to the way forward, you say, certainly there's a way forward. But the way forward comes in, as gentlemen was saying right now, coming with new things. Arey main bata raha hu aapko, 30th September, we gave it in writing on the mail. Is there something more than that? 2.5 months. If you had actually taken care of it then and had not taken the farmers lightly or had not taken the AIKCC lightly at that point in time, then we would not have farmers sitting on the roads in Punjab, on the rails in Punjab, or on the roads in Delhi. Your own mistake, you take it lightly. I mean, the minister spent 2 hours. Good for them, good for us. Thank you so much. But don't take us lightly and then say, oh, it's your fault. You're coming with new things. Yes, if they still want to do it, it can be done. But the primary thing is this MSP, what they are saying now as such is, we are continuing MSP. No.
I just want to ask one last question before I wrap up to you, Mr. VM Singh, and then Mr. Lalpura on that. Are the farmers still open to a conversation? What will get the farmers back on the discussion table?
Firstly, it has to be very clear that the guarantee on the MSP procurement is a must. Okay. And it does not mean necessarily when people, they misconstrue and say, no, the government does not have the money. The private players who are going to come in, you're getting in the private place, let them buy it. But if you know the private players won't buy it, they only want to buy at 700 rupees maize and not 1760, then there's a problem.
Okay, Mr. Lalpura, are the doors still open for conversation? Because it looks like the government will have to react next. The farmers have already made it very clear on national television through the day that they've rejected the government's proposal.
They should not reject the proposal. They should come out for discussion on the remaining issues also, if there is any. Not fears and rumors.
If there is any, you say, all of them sat in the evening, held a news briefing and said, well, the protesting ones definitely did. And they said that, yes, they still are not happy with this. They want more assurance as far as protection from private players is concerned and the MSP. Of course, there are subsequent issues. It looks like at this point of time, we are staring at a stalemate. What happens next remains to be seen. Thank you so much to all of our panelists for joining us right now. Viewers, one thing is for sure, the government did take several efforts. They did have 6 rounds of talks. They did give a written proposal to say these are the things, these are the 10 things where you have raised concerns and this is what we can do. But right now, the farmers don't seem to be in a mood to relent. At some point, they will have to give some amount of space for the government. Some space will have to be given for more conversation. Some room for negotiation is needed. It cannot be all or none. We're just stuck in this situation now. Thousands of farmers out on the street, now threatening to also block roads, continue a nationwide protest. At the end of it, if the intent is to take care of the farmers, is to bring about reforms and policies for the betterment, especially for the smaller and the marginal farmers, the ones who are struggling, the ones who are struggling so much that every year, government after government across states is looking at some of the other kind of waiver to help them out, to bail them out, and welfare schemes. The solution needs to be something that makes them self-sufficient with a strong, consistent income coming in. And if these farm laws don't address those issues, then of course there's going to be a problem. If these farm laws don't give that confidence to the farmers on ground, then of course there's going to be a problem. It's a fact that farmers across the country are not protesting. It's a fact that farmers across the country aren't necessarily unhappy with these 3 laws. But it is also a fact that a large percentage of them are upset. It is also a fact that farmers across the country are struggling and need our government's dire attention. So why not take this opportunity to have a larger conversation and begin the reforms that are much, much needed in the agriculture sector? Thank you so much for joining us. Moving on, let's get you some more reactions and views coming in. Farmer leader Rakesh Tikait, who's been part of the conversations, has now said, no, we're going to actually intensify our protests. We are, though, ready to consider if the centre sends us another proposal.
तारीख को है 14 तारीख को डीसी मुख्यालय पे जो डीएम का मुख्यालय है वहाँ पे ज्ञापन देंगे हम और ये कॉल करेंगे कि जो वहाँ पे एजिटेशन चल रहा है सरकार उन डिमांडों को माने।
अच्छा, एक चीज़ ये बता दीजिए सर, 12 और 14 तारीख को प्रोग्राम जिस तरीके से बताया जा रहा है, 12 तारीख को आप लोग जयपुर और एक्सप्रेस वे जो नोएडा वाला जो एक्सप्रेस है आगरा से आने वाला वो भी बंद करेंगे?
अभी
आप लोग ने नोएडा और गाजियाबाद को ब्लॉक किया क्योंकि हमने देखा यूपी के किसानों ने वही किया।
वहाँ पे तो लग रहे किसान बैठे हुए चारों तरफ।
तो अभी आने वाले दिनों में और बढ़ जाएंगे वो लोग?
बढ़ेंगे।
ठीक है,
बढ़ेंगे।
अच्छा, तो अब एक बार लास्ट बता दीजिए सर कि अगर सरकार की तरफ से कोई अब प्रपोजल आता है तो आप लोग उसका
हाँ बात करेंगे यहीं बैठ के ऑफिस में ही और बात करेंगे।
मतलब आप लोग बातचीत के लिए अभी भी तैयार हैं? बातचीत के लिए खुले हुए हैं?
बात करेंगे यहाँ बैठ के, उस पर भी जाना नहीं जाना क्या करना बात कर लेंगे। वे आए तो विद प्रपोजल पहले
प्रपोजल जो आया वो गोल मोल जिस प्रकार का 3 अध्यादेश के बारे में सरकार जारी होने के बाद से लगातार कह रही है, उसी के आसपास है कि इससे बहुत फायदा होगा, ये किया जाएगा, वो किया जाएगा, सौदरीकरण किया जाएगा, किसान की आय दूनी की जाएगी, ये सब किया जाएगा, पर कैसे किया जाएगा इसका कोई स्पष्ट उल्लेख नहीं है। चूंकि हम लोग कह चुके हैं कि हमको ये अध्यादेश निरस्त कराना है और एमएसपी पर गारंटी का कानून, इसके हमारी ये डेडलाइन है।
पूरे देश में एक दिन का जिला हेडक्वार्टर पर मोर्चा लगेगा। 14 तारीख शुक्रवार को उनको घेरेंगे और वहां मोर्चा लगेगा। सोमवार पूरे देश में लगातार रोष प्रदर्शन जारी रहेंगे। पंजाब, हरियाणा, यूपी, एमपी, राजस्थान और अदर स्टेट जहां पर पूरे रोष प्रदर्शन जारी रहेंगे। जयपुर दिल्ली हाईवे रोकने के लिए 12 तारीख तक फैसला कर लिया गया है। 12 तारीख तक उसको रोका जाएगा।
An opposition delegation met President and submitted a memorandum seeking the repealing of all the 3 laws. In fact, opposition leaders said that there had been no in-depth discussion as far as the farm laws are concerned, and these laws are actually anti-farmer.
The manner in which these bills were passed, without any discussion, without a conversation with the opposition parties, and certainly without a discussion with the Kisans of this country who have built this country. So the way the bills were imposed, we see it as an insult to the Kisans of this country. So we informed the President that it is absolutely critical that these bills are taken back.
You are seeing these 5 members here who met the President of India, gave a memorandum. The copies are here. A few copies are here which you will have to share. That will be given to you. Basically, we are asking for the repeal of these agri laws and the electricity amendment bill. And we said our point to the President was these were passed in a very anti-democratic manner, without any proper discussion. A proper consultation and discussion would have prevented this sort of a situation from happening.
With that, it's a wrap on conversation number 1 on here on Urban Debate. Lots more on the other side at 9 p.m. Stay with me.